Hello, everyone. I'm MrWeasely, and this is a War of the Ring session report for the 2021 War of the Ring International Tournament. This is the third round, the second game of the third round, and I'm playing the Free People, trying to get my sixth win? Fifth, trying to get my fifth win. And let's see how this goes. So my initial cards look very promising. I'm thrilled to see Thranduil's Archers. I'm excited to see Elven Rope. I'm going to roll, I don't know how many Palantirs, but I'm getting a lot of cards. Oh, okay. I rolled 0 Palantirs, but 2 Wills of the West. That's fine. And the Shadow rolls a bunch of Palantirs, so they just draw Corsairs of Umbar. They've also got Stormcrow, which is pretty, I guess it's, it's bad. And Morgulund, which is okay, I guess. So, start out, move the Fellowship, get hunted, just take a Corruption. Move the Fellowship again, get hunted, Gandalf bites it. Shadow finally draws a good muster card, Shadows on the Misty Mountains. And I play Thranduil's and get Scouts. Then with my army move, I move Screening Forces. And we're off to turn 2. I'll lead with Power of Tom Bombadil, which, moves north down. Looks like he's going for the north anyway. No super surprise there. The Fellowship gets hunted again. And Boromir falls. Saruman comes out. Turn 2, pretty much, I guess a little behind schedule. And Mordor is not at war, so I decide on an annoyance attack. Really just more, the Carrick guy goes out to Northern Ravinia and he's going to attempt a mediation with Mordor Alpha here. And, Mordor is just on peaceful military maneuvers. So they can't really cause this guy to move aside. So, he tries to attack and then realizes he can't and is forced to move Dol Guldur instead. Haha. Turn 3. Finally see an end card. And Celeborn's Glamdrim right after he marches on Lorien, so pretty psyched about that. Marches on Lorien with, not enough guys. So he gets Mordor to war. And I muster the north. What's going on here? So he attacks Northern Ravinian. I scouts away to Dale. He comes in. The north is at war. I spend a sword to pack Woodland Realm with Lakemen. So it's been 2 half army moves, so half army die. Essentially 2 musters of the north and a sword, and I got these three guys into Woodland Realm and gave up my defensive Dale. Is that worth it? I kind of feel like it is. Woodland Realm's just a gimme, but this Woodland Realm's not a gimme. This is like a minus Tirith. I don't know. Leave your feedback in the comments. Oh, I also lost Spirits of Mordor, Spirit of Mordor. So that's like 2 musters, a full army die, scouts, 3.5. Oh, and a character, 4.5. Like if a card's worth half a die. So an entire turn. I think so. I feel like I'm doing my job. Okay, Shadows on the Misties comes out, so he's serious about Lorien, and unfortunately, the elves are like, uh, not at all at war. Totally passive. So the best I can do is get Silborn's Glamdrim. And I also draw Imrahil of Dol Amroth, which I'm happy to see because it looks like Corsairs is in play, and yeah, they've got Corsairs. Oh, look at this. Corsairs, Horde from the East, and Many Kings to the Service of Mordor. So got so many Easterling reinforcement cards that they don't have enough in their force pool to play them all. Cracklin. Okay, but he moves into Lorien, and that's the end for turn 3. Kicking off turn 4. And so I muster an elite in Carrick, I guess because I would like to have a free muster point up here. Seems like a pretty good rejoinder to this Eagle Airy guy. And he gets the Witch King and Lorien. My response is a power 2 great, which he can, I'm assuming, brush aside. He's got Hill Trolls and Corsairs, and he's not giving up Corsairs. But Hill Trolls seems right. But first he gets out the Palantir with 2 eyes showing. So, well, that stinks. Looks like Power 2 Great's going to go away. But I'm not giving up Gandalf the White. So we get some Hill Trolls and Lorien, so up to 14 hit points versus my 7. So that's, with the Witch King leadership disparity, that's pretty much what you need. I get Gandalf the White. And he trashes a Power 2 Great using, notably, Day Without Dawn, which is sneaky. What else did he trash? Morgulwind. Well, that's no huge loss. It's not like I've been revealed. I'm going to move the Fellowship and get away with it. And here comes Lorien. First round, Great Host, 3 hits, plus a Great Host hit. Defenders managed 2. And so Lorien's basically over already. an initial 4-hit. Yeah. But the elves get to roll. And Lorian does live to soldier on for another day. So turn 5. Shadow rolls 4 eyes. They're not going to be super thrilled about that, especially because the free people only rolled musters. And they take out the Palantir. And they go into Woodland Realm, which was an open muster point. I was a little distracted by the Palantir. I probably should have mustered an elite in Woodland Realm and fought a siege battle. That would have been boss. Fought a field battle. Yeah, because like I could do that for a few rounds, and it costs him a lot to reinforce those guys. Yeah, I had shield. Well, let's see. I had, I guess, Sudden Strike was my big combat card, and I had a lot of them. I had 2 leadership. I'd take that. So that was maybe a little mistake. But then again, you would have gotten another card. I don't know. Then I could have used the Will of the West to move the Fellowship, which is always good. All right, so I've got all these musters, and I'm going to split them between Karek and Bree, apparently, which I'm not really happy with. Here comes Lorian, and they're wiped out. The Shadow loses 7 hit points to kill 7 hit points. So that's some pretty good attrition ratio. And I get another elite in Carrick. Southrons and Easterlings go to war. I bring out Elven Rope. Horde from the east. I get a leader in Carrick. I guess I want to move around on swords and threaten FPMV. I don't know. I think maybe I'd just rather have like 4 elites in Carrick at this point than this Bree army. Here comes Corsairs. And Gondor is totally unprepared, and that ends the turn. So, taking stock, the Shadow has 3 victory points, and Dol Amroth looks like a lock. Looks like you're going to try and get 2 more points in due, but getting all 5 seems pretty rough. So, yeah, they've got 7 points, and they got to scrape up 3 more. And meanwhile, the Fellowship's moved 6 regions, needs 4 to get to Mordor. So that's how we start out turn 6. I fear a day without dawn, so I play Immerhill with a will. And Saruman starts using his voice to get more elites in Orthanc, so it looks like it's going to be Rohan. So I move armies to the fords. I'm trying to keep that leader alive for the Siege of Helm's Deep. And I think it's time to move out the Bree army. Curiously, not the much stronger Carrick army. I think that's a mistake too. Like Old Forest Road, you can't hold both Woodland Realm and Dale. I mean, maybe again. Uh, but it would stretch them thin. And Old Forest Road's a great place to be attacked. You can retreat all kinds of annoying places. I don't know. Okay, Shadow plays a new power is rising and marches the dregs of their Lorien army towards Rohan. So it looks like the other 3 points are going to have to come from Rohan. Still maybe Rivendell or Shire Grey Havens or Pelargir. Fellowship loses a Hobbit. They put them in Fords of Isen. This is a dual role. Obviously, companions are good in combat, but also it's one away from Fangorn in case Gandalf needs to run up north. Of course, that's too far. But it's not too far from Old Forest Road, is it? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it is too far. But still, kind of thinking about getting Gandalf to this Carrick army and causing some day and night mayhem. And the Moria tile was a 0 reveal. And the Lorien army makes it into Westamnet, forcing this army to spend a die to get into Helm's Deep. And I continue to move this Bree army towards Rivendell. I think that's probably my biggest mistake this game. And the Shadow responds by annexing like 2/3 of Rohan. Rohan still not at war. Turn 7. So at the start of this turn, the Shadow is up to 4 victory points. They've got a huge army in Rohan, but they've also got a pretty solid looking defense, and of course Gandalf. So this is Rohan's the swingiest theater of war. Really a lot of things could happen here. And the Fellowship, for its part, is still 3 away from Mordor. Fellowship moves the first time and second time. They're only moving against 1 eye. Fellowship moves a third time. Misses again. So the Fellowship is actually in Mordor. I mean, at the gates of Mordor at this point. And Helm's Deep falls under siege. And I, again, spend half a muster die in Carrick, and I get an Annoyance guy in Fold. But in the meantime, this 14 hit point all-elite army heads to Helm's Deep to take it over. And it would have even been 16 had they brought even a single regular. But instead, this elite is left to garrison Edoras, which is kind of funny. All right, turn 1, they attack. Shadow plays Foul Stench to cancel the leader reroll, but the free plays Sudden Strike. Gets 1 hit. The Shadow gets 2 hits. So overall, it's looking like 2 hits to 2 hits. Yeah. So that's not the exchange ratio the free people need on the first turn. So second turn, the free people switch strategy. They're just going to try and kill the Witch King with Blade of Westerness. But the Shadow counters with Dread and Despair to, let's see, for the combat roll, forfeit 1 or more points of Nazgul leadership. During the combat roll, the free people player rolls 1 combat die less to a minimum of 1 for every point you have chosen to forfeit. They have 4 points. Yeah, so they zap all the combat dice, save 1, and the free people miss on the leader reroll, so the Witch King lives to fight another day. And then round 3, finally drag out this Ent card. Haven't played it before now because it doesn't, it's not going to cause the loss of any combat dice. But now they're down to 10 hits, so 2 extra hits, maybe. And fortunately it hits, but unfortunately Helm's Deep is totally sacked. So another stronghold falls to the Shadow, and they are at 6. I want to say 6? Yeah, 6 victory points. And on the last move, the Fellowship moves an insurance move against cruel weather because we hope we can last 2 turns. Dol Amroth's clearly going down. Edoras, we're hoping is going to hold. Woodland Realm, we're hoping is going to hold. We need to hold some of these. All right, turn 8. The Fellowship is in Mordor. The hunt pool looks pretty soft. Like the Fellowship is at 2 corruption, and they've got 6 points of companions. I mean, it really depends on how these eyes are, but there are no red tiles. And yeah, Fellowship needs to get this done in 2 turns. 1 turn would not. They would not say no to that, but of course it's unlikely. And then the free people don't roll any swords. And 1 Will of the West. All right. Let's see how this goes. Okay, so the free people finally move Carrick out, and they move Rivendell to Trollshaws to... I'm actually thinking of retaking Lorien at this point and threatening FPMB. I'm going to move the Fellowship, and it's a reveal, which is bad luck, but now it's average luck. Iron Hills falls under siege. Erebor falls under siege. And the Witch King flies around. And the Battle of Dol Amroth is joined. And this doesn't look good. They swarm of bats, the heroic death, and then get 3 hits on the first round of combat. I answer with 2, and then he just blows through them. And Dol Amroth falls. And then I realize, well, I'm going to have to claw back 1 victory point this turn somehow. So my Tirith army rolls out, and Westamnet guy, Fold guy, retakes over Westamnet. I don't know. So here comes Erebor. He has a delivery from Orthanc. And on the roll, he gets 4 hits. And the poor old dwarves only get 3. So if you're keeping track, on the first round of the 4 sieges of this game, it's been 3 hits, then 2 hits, then 3 hits, then 4 hits for the Shadow. So that's impressive. And the dwarves are doomed against that. Another devilry. And the Shadow is at 10, just like that. Boom. It's what? 11 hit points of Free People's Defenders gone in 2 action dice. And I've been wasting the half of my army moves up here in Anorian. And instead, I mean, I could have had 3 army moves from these Carrot guys down to Lorien, and that would have been a better defense, because, you know, if Rivendell leaves, then it's just wide open again, and just any old random orc can walk in there. But we don't really care about Carrick. So live and learn. So the entire army of Gondor marches to Edoras. The beacons were lit the other direction. Rohan sent the green arrow. And after a battle, after quite a battle, the elite troll manages to take out the elite Gondor guy. So pretty good return on investment for a vastly outnumbered troll. But I claw it back to 9 victory points, and we go to turn 9. So this turn, the Fellowship will need to hide and move 4 spaces, which again is pretty tough. Still have Strider's Guide though, so that's nice. And the Witch King's going to go take Pelargir. And I guess I look at the hunt pool and I'm like, can I move 3 times that being revealed? There are only 4 tiles that don't reveal me out of 10. So I need a 4 and 10, then a 3 and 9, then a 2 and 8. So that's about 1 in 80 chance. So about a 1% chance. So no, that is, I'm going to have to somehow hold for another turn. So I'm thinking about what I'm doing. So my first attack is I go liberate or lift the siege of Woodland Realm, which makes this big army that can go through itself against Dale. I guess. But the Shadow just moves reinforcements from Erebor so that they have leadership. And so this matchup This is a no-go for the free army unless they're really desperate, which they are. So there's battle in Pelargir. And the entire Northern Free Army makes a mad lunge for Erebor. Gets dreadful spells, and then the free has to use, I think, a ring to retake it. So they fight this battle against 5 Southron and Easterlings. And yeah, they eventually win, but it costs them the cream of their army. And the Shadow sieges Woodland Realm. But they still want to hold on to Dale. So the free people have managed to live another day, but they haven't really advanced the fellowship. If they had found something better than spending 4 action dice to get claw back 1 victory point, they'd be in a better position this turn. Turn 10, clearly going to be the last turn because Woodland Realm is down to a single Lake Man for defense. And don't roll any swords. So that's game. That's game. We're just going to watch it at 100x speed. They go into Woodland Realm. They easily take it. It looks like free people retake Dale, but a new army of elephants marches over and kicks them out. Yeah, so what are my thoughts on this game? Okay, I'm just going to press spacebar till we get to the end. All right. So my thoughts are, you want to get into Mordor with less than 6 shadow victory points. I think it did a pretty good job of packing strongholds with defenders. You know, Lorien was 1-3-1, and Helm's Deep was 4-1-2. Dol Amroth was 3-1-1. Erebor was 2-2-1. So not terrible. Lost all the battles, though. I really recommend not having the Shadow roll an average of 3 hits on the first round of every siege. And then, wait, is this strategy discussion or just blaming the dice? And then throwing 15 action dice in Mordor and getting about 5 results that can move the fellowship. I don't recommend that. I think I should have been more active in defending Pelargir. Oh, the big sap was these Bree guys. Bree's just too far. Get Carrick. Just get Carrick. These guys could have come over to Lorien. That would have been a fine turnstile. could have fought maybe all these guys if I just had like 4 elites. Would have been fine. 3 elites and a leader and a regular. Perfect. And that's really what I learned from this game, I think. Hope you enjoyed it. This is, I think, the last tournament video I'll do this year, but we'll see. And leave any comments you might have in the comments.